today. Today we're going to be doing a 60-minute vinyasa class, and we are going to be letting some shit go. At the time of this recording, it is November 5th, 2020. It's no secret that there are a lot of people out there in the world today who have had a very, very hard time this year. And for us in America, it's a huge day because we found out the results of the election, and there's a lot of people who are really plugging in to the story that we're told about the politicians and all this stuff. So what we're going to do today is we are going to let go some of that stuff that we've been holding on to that really isn't serving anybody. And we are going to cultivate love, some humor, compassion, and empathy today with a heart-opening exercise. And a lot of times that we carry the weight of the world on our shoulders, and we can literally feel it. So we're going to try to release some of that today, and we're going to move our bodies and move some of that energy through and out and replace it with some loving kindness at the end of the practice. So let's go ahead and get started, and come onto your mat, onto all fours, and we are going to start with a flow, a little bit of movement to get the energy going right from the get-go. So come down into child's pose. Bring the big toes together, set the hips onto the heels, walk the fingers out towards the front of the mat, and let the forehead rest on the mat. Before we start it's called the striking cobra flow, we'll come to our breath here in child's pose. Push your fingers into the mat, making little domes with the palms of your hand. Bring to mind something that's just really been weighing down on you. Something that just spins around in your mind over and over again that brings your energy down. And once you have that situation, that person, that political party, maybe, that just really gets your blood boiling. Just once you have that in your mind, let's set an intention in the heart. The intention is to let that judgment, to let that bias, to let those not so nice feelings go. And just feel the relief as you inhale deeply. And exhale. Relax the forearms onto the ground, coming to a more passive way of being in child's pose. Bring your attention to the center of the chest, the area of the heart chakra, and visualize a glowing light there in the cave of the heart. Imagine that light growing with each inhale, removing any barriers to that area of the body that's responsible for love and compassion and empathy. Imagine that light spreading throughout the body. Overpowering that darkness of the judgment and the bias, all that crap that's in the mind. Shining the light into the darkness. And let's set our intention for the practice to let it go. To let go of resentment. To let go of grudges. There's a saying that holding on to a resentment is like holding on to a hot coal and expecting the other person to get burned. So we are going to cultivate ahimsa, non-harm for ourselves today. Inhale, come on up onto all fours. And exhale, bring the hips down to the mat, bend the elbows, bring the chest down, and come into cobra on an inhale. Push into the hands, raise the chest up. Exhale, push through all fours, bring the hips down to the heels, child's pose. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, child's pose. One more. Inhale to cobra. And exhale, child's pose. Inhale, come back up onto all fours. Inhale, drop the belly, look up, tilt the hip bones up. And exhale, push into the hands, round the back, tuck the pelvis down. Inhale, cow, dropping the belly, look up. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat pose, like an angry cat, rounding the back. And come to a neutral spine. Send your left heel out behind you, reaching towards the back of the mat, and take the opposite hand, your right hand, reach towards the front of the mat. Reaching through the fingertips and down through the heels, making one long line. Suck the navel in towards the spine. Ujjayi breath here, breathing evenly, hearing the breath like the waves of the ocean, ebbing and flowing. And drop the hand, drop the knees, switch sides, suck the navel in towards the spine, send the right heel back, left hand reaches forward. Engaging the core, reaching through the hands, reaching farther forward with the left hand, reaching farther behind you with the right heel. Ujjayi breath. Engaging Mula Bandha, squeezing that perineal area. And drop the hand, drop the knees, and push into downward facing dog, keeping the knees bent. So we're pushing through the knuckles of the thumbs and the forefingers. Getting a little bit of external rotation through the shoulders. Pushing the chest closer to the thighs, letting the head drop down, and pushing the heels down towards the mat. Feeling a nice stretch, nice opening through the shoulder girdle here. Letting go of all of that stuff that we are carrying on our shoulders. Look between the hands. Step the right foot forward, spin the back foot flat, come into warrior one. Inhale. Reach up. Rooting through the outside edge of the back foot. Making sure that front knee is over the ankle. And exhale, bring the hands down, go through a vinyasa. So step it back to a plank. On the same exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Pull the chest forward, opening the chest. Exhale, roll over the toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, step the left foot forward, spin the back foot flat, warrior one. Again, rooting through the outside edge of the back foot, making sure the front knee is over the ankle. Exhale, go through your vinyasa. Meet in downward facing dog. Doing a variation of Surya Namaskar B. Just not coming into chair pose between each one. Inhale, look between the hands, right foot forward, back foot flat, warrior one. Exhale, go through your vinyasa, and we will meet in downward facing dog. Look between the hands, step the left foot forward, back foot flat. Inhale, warrior one. And exhale through the vinyasa. And we meet in downward facing dog, building up some heat in the body. Building up heat to build away impurities of the body and the mind. And one more Surya Namaskar B variation. Step the right foot forward, back foot flat. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, go through your vinyasa. And step the the left foot forward, right foot flat. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, going through your vinyasa. Meeting in downward facing dog. You can take a little rest here in child's pose, or you can just hang out here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Look between the hands. Come back into downward facing dog if you were in child's pose. Step the right foot forward. And couple things you can do here. You can drop the back knee or keep the back knee up and raise the hands up for a high lunge, crescent lunge. Pull the right hip back, left hip forward. Push through that back heel. Bring the hand to heart center and twist, hooking the left elbow on the outside of the right knee. Look up at the ceiling. Ujjayi breath. Bring the hands down to either side of the front foot. Drop that back knee. Take the right hand up. Reach it up and behind you towards that back leg. And bring the left hand up, palm facing up. Reach up. Side body stretch. And exhale. Bring the hands to the knees. Grab the back foot with the left hand. Coming into a nice quadricep stretch. Allowing the foot to provide a little bit of opening through the left chest as well as it kind of drags the hand back. Drop the foot, bring both hands to the inside of the right foot. And coming down just a bit, sending the hips forward. Coming into lizard pose. And like I said at the beginning, we hold on to a lot of stuff in our hips. So this is your chance to let that shit go. Breathe into the opening in the hips. And just take notice of anything that might come up, from memories to judgments. And just allow that stuff to release from your body, release from your consciousness. And send the hips back. Keep the hip over that back knee. Point the front toes up. And maybe you'll want to send the front foot out forward more. Coming into Ardha Hanumasana. And if you're working towards full Hanumasana or full splits, you can send the front foot forward. Maybe come all the way down if that's in your practice. Otherwise, just hold your weight, support yourself with your hands. Or you just stay in Ardha Hanumasana. There's no need to go further if you're not feeling like you're ready. Practicing ahimsa, non-harm to ourselves, right? When we think it's okay to harm ourselves, we think it's okay to harm others. Okay, bring that right foot back, the right knee meets the left knee. And come on up into downward facing dog. And look between the hands, step the left foot forward, either dropping the right knee onto the mat or keeping it up, coming into high lunge or low lunge if your knee is on the ground. Push through the back heel if your knee's up. Bring the left hip back, the right hip forward. Look up at the thumbs. Bring the hands to heart center and twist, bringing the right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Push into the leg, getting as much of a twist through the spine as feels comfortable. Look up at the ceiling. Keeping your vision centered on one point. Engaging Mula Bandha, squeezing those muscles in the perineum area. Release the twist, bring the hands to either side of the front foot, and drop the back knee. And what did we do here? All right, grab the right foot with the right hand. Oh, sorry, I forget. Put the right hand on the inside of the right foot. Raise the left arm up and bring it back, reaching towards that back thigh. And raise the right hand up, palm facing up. Dropping the left hand down the leg. Look up if you'd like to challenge the balance a bit. And release. Bring the hands down, framing that front foot. Now we're going to bring the right hand up and back. You can place the left hand on the knee and grab that right foot, making sure that the kneecap is not what's supporting you. So just feel the sensation through the front part of the leg. The right foot is dragging the right chest open just a bit. And go ahead and drop the foot. Bring the hands to the inside of the left foot and send the hips forward. Coming into lizard pose. Getting into the hips. On the other side, you may notice that one side is tighter than the other. And that's totally normal. Come to your Ujjayi breath. should be over the right knee. Point the left toes towards the ceiling for Ardha Anumasana. You may have to make some adjustments, possibly sending the left heel forward. Hang out here in Ardha Anumasana for a minute. Creating some space in the body. And if you're working on the full expression of Hanumasana, you can start to send the left foot forward, scooching the right leg back, supporting your weight on your hands unless you're able to come all the way down. Bring the left foot back, sliding it back, left knee meets the right. And come on up into downward facing dog. You can pedal the feet, bending one knee and then the other. Sending one heel towards the mat and then the other. Remembering Ujjayi breath and Mula Bandha. Step the right foot forward, spin the back foot flat, and come on up into Warrior Two, rotating the arms up, bringing them parallel to the ground, reaching through the front fingertips and the back fingertips, pulling the ribs backwards slightly so you're not shifting your weight really far forward. Reverse the warrior. And bring the right hand down on the inside of the right foot. Send the left hand up towards the ceiling. And turn the left hand behind you, facing behind you. Bend the elbow and drop the back of the hand to meet the back or the hip if you can. Pull the chest open towards the ceiling. And if you're working on your bind, you can take the right hand reaching under the leg and bind the hands behind the hips. Opening through the chest. Keeping your Ujjayi breath and the steady mind, more responsive and less reactive. This is what we're working on. Bring the right hand down and grab the ankle or the shin, whatever is going to work best for you. Straighten that front leg. And keep that left hand behind you. Modified triangle pose. Make sure that your butt isn't shooting way out behind you. You want to imagine that there's two planes of glass kind of pushing you together. Just making one flat expression of the pose. on up on an inhale. And step the back foot in just slightly, pointing the toes at about a 60-degree angle, and just fix your stance, adjust your stance so you can square the hips off to the front of the mat. Take your hands behind you, interlace the fingers. You could also do prayer hands behind the back. Open up the chest. Inhale, look up, and exhale, fold forward, folding from the hips, bringing the chest down towards the knee. Gazing at the front knee. Send the right hip back, left hip forward. Release the hands. Bring the left hand either to the inside, the top of, or the outside of the right foot. Spin the right chest up towards the ceiling, coming into revolved triangle. Reach the right hand up. Look up at the right hand. And drop the hands, going through your vinyasa. And holding in downward facing dog for just a moment. Engaging Mula Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha, which is the solar plexus area. You're just giving it a squeeze, setting the energy up. And just see if you notice a shift in your energy when you engage these locks, these bandhas. Look between the hands, bring the left foot forward, back foot flat, perpendicular. Feet are perpendicular. Come to heel to arch alignment, and then circle the arms up, coming into warrior two. Gazing over the left middle finger, reaching through both hands. Pull the ribs back just a bit so you're not sending your weight forward. Ujjayi breath, remembering your locks, the bandhas. And reverse the warrior, inhale. Making sure to keep the weight off of the back knee. And exhale, coming into a variation of extended side angle. Bring the left hand to the inside of the left foot. And bring the right hand up, reaching towards the ceiling. Turn the right palm to face behind you. Bend the elbow, drop the hand behind the back. Spin the chest up and open towards the ceiling. And you can stay here if this is as far as you want to go. If you're working on your binds, you can reach the left hand behind you and bind the hands. Release your bind, keep your right hand behind you, grab the ankle or the shin, or you can place the hand on the inside of the foot. But we're going to be coming into triangle, so straighten that front knee. Send that right hip up towards the ceiling. Look up. come on back up and step the back foot in just a bit. Hips facing the front of the mat. Getting ready for our pyramid pose. So you can interlace the fingers behind the back again, or you can push the hands into prayer behind the back. Inhale, look up, and exhale, hinge from the hips, send the chest towards the left knee. Rooting in, rooting down through the big toe of the left foot, the outside edge of the right foot, sending the right hip forward, the left hip back. Releasing some of that tension that we're holding on to through our legs, our shoulders. Remembering Ujjayi breath. Drop the right hand either to the inside, top of, or outside of the right foot. And take the left hand, reach it towards the ceiling, coming into revolved triangle. Look up at the left hand. And bring the hands back down, framing that front foot. Going through the vinyasa. And we'll meet in downward facing dog. Drop the forearms down, coming into dolphin pose. So the forearms are parallel, the fingers are spread, index fingers pointing forward. Bend the knees and send the chest back towards the thighs. And then go ahead and straighten the legs. And go ahead and drop the knees. And just work your way onto your bottom. Bring the legs out nice and wide. Maybe you can take one hand in front of the hips and one hand behind the hips and just scooch them forward just a bit. A little bit of an extra opening through the insides of the thighs. Inhale, chest up. Exhale, hinge from the hips and walk the hands forward. Coming down as far as you comfortably can, making sure that the bending is coming from the pelvis and not rounding of the back. Pointing the toes up towards the ceiling, feet engaged. Deep Ujjayi breathing. Come on up on an inhale, walk the hands back. Turn towards the the right foot. And walk the hands on either side of the right leg. Trying to keep both sit bones on the mat. Gaze at the right big toe. pulling the chest down or the nose down towards the right knee. Inhale, walk the hands back. And come to the other side, walking the hands on either side of the left leg, walking towards the foot. Inhale, lengthen the crown of the head towards the ceiling. Keeping both sit bones on the mat. Inhale, walk the hands back. And swing the legs to the front of the mat. Come into quick boat pose. Always wanting to make sure we're working on that core strength to protect our spine. So bring the shins parallel to the ground, grab the backs of the thighs, pull the chest in towards the knees, and reach the hands towards the feet. Keeping the knees together. Maybe sending the feet towards the ceiling, straightening the legs, making sure you're keeping the chest up, not letting the back sag. Go ahead and drop the feet down, and we're going to come up onto the knees. We're standing on the knees, we're going to come into camel pose, and if you don't have camel pose in your practice, it's okay. I'll show you a modification. So the first option, bring the hands to the hips. Inhale, reaching the chest up and look up, squeezing the elbows towards one another. Engaging the abdominal muscles. And this is the first option. You're just going to hold here, getting a nice heart opening, back bend. Trying to make it about bending the thoracic cavity. In other words, this upper part of the spine here, rather than making the bend all about the back of the spine, because the back of the spine naturally curves this way. So we just want to get a little bit more movement through the upper part of the spine. Okay, next option. Plant the toes into the mat. And same thing, push the hips forward, chest up and back, look up, and reach the hands down to the heels. And let the head drop back. And again, engaging the abdominals. Trying to get a nice back bend through the thoracic spine. Okay, come on up. Next option, drop the feet. And same thing, hands to the hips, engage the abdominal muscles. Inhale, look up, chest is up. And drop the hands back to the heels. Inhale, come on up. And come back onto all fours. Gently coming down onto the belly. Bend the knees, keeping the feet engaged. Grab the outsides of the ankles. Bring the knees about hips distance apart, not letting the knees kind of splay open like they naturally want to. Trying to have some control here through the legs. So inhale, pull the feet back, pulling the chest up. And on your next inhale, bring the quads off the mat, coming into the full expression of bow pose. And roll over onto your right side. Bringing the big toes together. Opening up through the heart. Making space for that energy of love and compassion to flow freely. Come up to center and roll over to the left. Big toes touching. And roll over to the center and release the legs. Make a little shelf for your forehead to rest on with your hands. And just relax. Letting that shit go that has been weighing you down. Okay, push yourself up to all fours and come onto your bottom. And bring your right heel to the outside of the left hip and bring the right heel to the outside of the right thigh. And bring your left hand behind the left hip. Raise the right hand up, get length in the spine. And exhale, bring the right elbow to the left knee. Again, reach the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. And then twist. Turning your gaze over the left shoulder. Feeling the lungs expanding through the side body, providing opening through the rib cage area, through the thoracic area. And release the twist and switch your legs. So bring the left leg to the bottom, the left heel is on the outside of the right hip. The right foot is on the outside of the left thigh. Bring the right hand to the ground behind you. And inhale, raise the left hand up. Exhale, bring the left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Again, inhale, reach the crown of the head towards the ceiling. And on an exhale, twist to the right, gazing over the right shoulder. release the twist. Come down onto the back. Bring the arms out to a T. Bring the knees into the chest. And drop the knees over to the right. Gazing over the left hand. Inhale the knees to the center. Just give them a little squeeze, squeezing them into the chest. And release. Let the arms come out to a T, dropping the knees over to the left. Gaze over the right hand. Trying to keep both shoulder blades on the mat. And inhale, bring the knees into the center, give them a little squeeze. And drop the legs down to the mat, feet are about max width apart. Bring the hands to your sides, palms facing up. Bring your shoulder blades together. Make any adjustments that you need to make in order for you to be able to completely relax. Allow the mind to let go. Allow the heart to open. Feeling the loving energy of the heart center. Filling your body. Filling the space around you. Let go of control. Letting go of trying to force things to be as you think they should be. And dropping into that sacred stillness. Dropping into that state of allowing. And feeling that peace and contentment that comes with letting that shit go. bring some movement back into the body, wiggling the fingers and the toes. Normally I'd like to stay in Shavasana for a full 10 minutes, but we're going to finish up with a meditation. So, roll over onto your right side. And pushing through the left hand, raise yourself up, leading with the left shoulder, leading with the heart. Come to a comfortable cross-legged position. Inhale the breath for 4. Hold. And let go for 4. Hold for 4. And inhale. Hold. Exhale through the nose. Hold. Inhale through the nose. Hold. Exhale through the nose. Hold. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Inhale. And come back to a normal, natural pace of breathing. Bring to your mind's eye someone that you just absolutely adore. Someone who, when you talk to them or when you see them, you just automatically feel a sense of overwhelming love and joy. Feel your heart opening up to this person. Feel the joy that they bring to your life. Visualize a white light in your heart center. And visualize a white light in their heart center. Now hold on to this feeling of love and joy and visualize someone who you're neutral about, someone who you don't particularly like or dislike. Maybe a coworker, maybe an acquaintance you come across from time to time. Keep that visual and that feeling of your joy and that light in your heart. Visualize that light in their heart center. Visualize yourself giving this person a warm embrace, heart to heart, soul to soul, no better than, no less than, realizing your connection with them. Now bring to your mind's eye a visualization of somebody who just really grinds your gears, somebody who you are holding a grudge against, or somebody who you just don't particularly care for. Hold this feeling of love and joy in your being. Visualize the light beaming from your heart center. And visualize that divine light in their heart center. Honor the light in them. We're all divine beings in this human embodiment. We all have a different path. We all have different perceptions, different dharmas, different purposes here on this plane of existence. Fill your being with that divine knowing, that compassion. And visualize yourself bowing down to them as you say, the light in me honors the light in you. We're all just walking each other home. Keep this in your mind today as you go about your day, as you deal with people around you, and even as you deal with your own thoughts and stories and beliefs. Remind yourself that we are all divine beings having a human experience. And we all are here on our own journeys. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today. Namaste.